Am I the butthole for wanting a divorce after my wife cheated with my brother? Hey Reddit, I never thought I'd be posting here, but I'm at a point where I need some outside advice. I'm a 33-year-old guy, and my wife, Liz 31F, and I have been together for 8 years, married for 5. My younger brother Jake 28M and I have always been close. But what I found out recently has completely shaken my world. When Liz and I met at a mutual friend's wedding, I was instantly drawn to her. She was smart, funny, and gorgeous, everything I'd ever wanted in a partner. After dating for 3 years, I proposed. Liz said yes, and we had a beautiful wedding surrounded by friends and family. Jake was my best man, and our family dynamic was great, at least it seemed that way for the first few years of our marriage. Everything was normal, sure. We had the usual ups and downs, but I thought we were solid. Liz and Jake always got along well, which I thought was great. I was happy that my brother and my wife liked spending time together. We'd hang out as a group, and sometimes Jake and Liz would meet up on their own. In my mind, that was fine, it was all in the family. Around a year ago, I noticed small changes in Liz. She started coming home later from work, claiming she had to stay late or meet with colleagues. We were also less intimate, which I chalked up to stress. When I asked her if everything was okay, she reassured me that she was just overwhelmed with work. Looking back, I should have seen the red flags. Liz and Jake started spending more time together when I wasn't around. They would go out for lunch, grab coffee, or run errands together. They seemed closer than ever, and while it did bother me slightly, I didn't question it. After all, this was my wife and my brother, two people I trusted more than anyone. A couple of months ago, Liz was distant, and I began feeling more suspicious. One afternoon, I got an urgent call from Jake. He sounded off, asking me to come to his apartment. I thought something was wrong, so I left work early to check on him. When I arrived at his place, I knocked but got no answer. I had a spare key, so I let myself in. What I saw will haunt me forever. Liz and Jake were sitting on the couch, making out, completely unaware that I had walked in. I was paralyzed with shock. My wife, the woman I thought I'd spend my life with, was kissing my own brother. They didn't even realize I was standing there until I made a sound. Liz's face went white, and Jake just froze. Without saying a word, I turned around and left. My mind was spinning, and I couldn't even process what I'd just witnessed. I drove around for hours, numb, replaying the scene in my head. That night, Liz came home and immediately broke down in tears. She admitted everything. They had been having an affair for a few months. She claimed it started when they began confiding in each other about problems I wasn't aware of. One thing led to another, and they crossed a line they couldn't come back from. Liz said she still loved me and that she regretted the affair. She begged me to forgive her, claiming it was just a huge mistake. But how could I believe that? How could I ever trust her again? She betrayed me in the worst way possible with my own brother. I asked her to leave. I couldn't bear to look at her, let alone have her stay in the house. She went to stay with a friend, giving me space to figure things out. Jake reached out a few days later, apologizing profusely and begging me to talk. He came over, and we had a long, painful conversation. He admitted that he and Liz got too close during a time when I was distant. He said it wasn't about love, just a moment of weakness, and they both knew it was wrong. Jake claimed that they never meant to hurt me and had planned to end things before I found out. But that just made me angrier. They had no intention of telling me the truth. They would have carried on with their lies if I hadn't caught them. I asked Jake how he could do this to me. We were brothers, supposed to have each other's backs, and he betrayed me in the worst way. He said he didn't have an answer, that he hated himself for what happened, and that he was willing to do anything to make it right. But I wasn't sure if there was anything he could do to fix this. It's been a few weeks since I found out, and I still feel lost. Liz has been texting me constantly, saying she wants to work things out. But I can't even look at her without feeling sick. I don't know if our marriage can survive this. Jake has kept his distance but also reached out, saying he wants to repair our relationship. But how can I forgive him for this? He's my brother, and we've been through so much together. But this feels like a betrayal too deep to move past. I feel like I've lost both my wife and my brother in one fell swoop. Part of me wonders if I should just walk away from both of them, start fresh and try to move on. But another part of me wonders if I should at least try to salvage something, whether that's my marriage, my relationship with Jake, or both. I'm torn and have no idea what to do. Update: Hey Reddit. Here's the update I promised. After reading through all of your comments and taking some time to think, I decided to take control of the situation. I started seeing a therapist, which helped me process the betrayal. Talking to someone outside of the situation gave me a clearer perspective. I realized that while I might still have feelings for Liz, the trust had been irreparably damaged. Every time I thought about trying to rebuild our marriage, I couldn't shake the image of her with Jake. My therapist also helped me understand that I didn't need to rush into any decisions. I had the right to take my time to figure out what I wanted and what was best for me. After some time apart, Liz and I sat down to have a serious conversation. She was still apologetic and insisted that she wanted to fix things. She told me that the affair was a mistake, that she regretted it, and that she still loved me. But I was honest with her. I told her that I didn't know if I could ever trust her again. Every time I looked at her, all I could think about was her betrayal. Liz broke down, but I stayed firm. I told her that I thought the best thing for us was to separate. I wasn't sure if I wanted a divorce yet, but I needed time and space to figure that out. As for Jake, I've had limited contact with him. He's tried to reach out, but I haven't been ready to talk to him. I'm still processing how my own brother could do something so hurtful. Part of me wants to forgive him because he's my family, but another part of me knows that our relationship will never be the same. Right now, I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive him. Liz and I have agreed to a trial separation. She's moved in with a friend while I stay in the house. We've started talking about what a divorce might look like, but nothing is finalized yet. I'm still taking things one day at a time, trying to figure out what my next steps will be. I'm also continuing therapy to help me navigate this. I know this process is going to take a long time, and I don't expect to have all the answers anytime soon, but I'm starting to feel more confident in my decision to put myself first. I want to thank everyone who commented on my original post. Your advice and support helped me see things more clearly, and I truly appreciate it. This has been one of the hardest experiences of my life, but I'm determined to come out of it stronger. For now, I'm focusing on healing. I don't know what the future holds for me, Liz, or Jake, but I do know that I deserve to be with someone who values and respects me. Whether that's with Liz or someone else, only time will tell.